Hi, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at some luthier tools from Amazon and StewMac, fret dressing files, fret crowning files, fret rockers, radius gauges, a few other things. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, we're going to quickly open up the StewMac box and the Amazon package. From StewMac I ordered a fret dressing file as well as 3 of their micro mesh touch-up sticks. Well, this is packed really well. Stapled shut even. Okay. Well, inside this giant box, we have what should be a few little items. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the touch-up sticks first. Now, these are several different grits. The back grit's about 12,000 grit. I believe it's 4 and 8 for the black and the white. But basically 3 different mediums so that you can work your frets and smooth them out and polish them really nicely. Now, for tougher jobs, this is a fret file. It's got a rounded bottom end so it won't damage your fretboard, that you can use to take off the end of the fret if you need to take off any burrs and then round the fret end over. This is a nice dressing file for that, fret end dressing file. Now, StewMac does charge $10 shipping. That's one of the reasons I got 3 of these sticks, so just be aware of that. Now let's go ahead and look at the Amazon package. I have 2 things from Amazon. I'm only going to show you opening one envelope. I don't think you want to see me open identical envelopes twice. The other envelope has just a small item in it. This one is the kit I've been waiting on. Now, these are all inexpensive kits from Amazon, but this one, they had some that came with a hammer, some that came with, and all the items were optional for this last item, or this first item I'm pulling out, the hammer. But it's also what I cared the least about. Some of them had straight edges, but what I wanted was a fret rocker and a fret file. And as you see here, we've got a fret crowning file. So this is something that's very useful. I've seen it used, so while it may not be the best top shelf quality, it does work well. Now we have some metal fret covers or fret protectors. That's always a good thing. Love the little bag it comes in too. Now we have, oh, the fret rocker sticking out. Now this is heavy. This is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. Doesn't feel sharp or dangerous to the guitar really. I mean, you wouldn't want to drop it on it, but that feels all right. Now the fret protectors did feel like they were a little sharp on one side, so you might want to watch that when you use them. This little grinding stone to smooth out your frets. Probably will never use that, as I have the StewMac parts, or StewMac tools, excuse me. Now I also ordered, I guess it's a complete set. It's a set of understring radius gauges. These are stainless steel, just like the other tools. You use these to set up your actual string radius and also check the radius of a fretboard, which I'll go over all that here in a minute. As you see, this has, I think it's 9 different ones, but very nice set. Now, something to worry about with all these tools is make sure they're not overly sharp. These could probably scratch your paint up if you were to hit the guitar with them. Shouldn't be a problem, as I'll show you when you put them in. It's not a real issue. However, you do want to be careful of that. So here are the prices for both sets of parts. And, you know, it wasn't terribly cheap, but for everything you get, $62 wasn't bad, especially considering a fret rocker can cost $20 to $30 from like StewMac or other places. Radius gauges can be quite expensive. So here's how you use a radius gauge on the fretboard itself. As you can see, this doesn't quite look smooth around the edges, like it's kind of coming up, because this is the wrong size radius gauge. This is a 10. Now when I get the 9.5, you'll see it lines up very nicely. Nice full fit, so we've got the right radius. Now to use it, you want to use it under your strings to get a proper radius for your string height, because if you go off the top of the strings, the string heights are going to make it not correct. So you slide it under your strings, and I would recommend adjusting your E strings first and then bringing the other saddles down to match. That way you have it locked in at the height you want, and the other saddles can just come down and rest on it. It should make it easier and faster. You can also lay it across the saddles, especially on LP style guitars, tunematic bridges, as well as standard tremolos, just to see what the radius is or have at least a rough idea. Now we're going to go over the fret rocker. This is how you find a high fret. Now I'm going to go over the whole guitar, not in this video, but I actually do my whole guitar when I check this, especially any new guitar. And you lay it across 3 frets, and you can hear me laying it down, and you rock it back and forth. Hear that sound? That's a high fret. You're always covering 3 frets. That rocking sound is the middle fret being high and the fret rocker rocking over it. It's got 4 different size edges, so you can get all the way down your fretboard and keep that 3 fret coverage. Works really well. Now I'm just going to take a Sharpie marker. You can use any kind of permanent marker that you can sand off, but just make a mark on the fret area where it was rocking. And you could do the whole neck at once, or you can go area by area. Usually you're only having to do 1 or 2 spots on a guitar. This is a test neck. It's going to have quite a few places. But use your fret guard. Go ahead and cover the fret. Again, check to make sure you have the smoother edge down. Usually as you use these, they kind of smooth out anyway, but this one has a very smooth edge and a kind of rough edge, so I'm making sure the rough edge is up. And take your fret file, or excuse me, your crowning file, and go ahead and try and isolate that one spot and sand off the marker mark. Once you're through the marker, and you want to have just a little bit showing still, like a light coverage. I'll try and show you right here. But when you're done sanding it, then you have that little bit of light mark left. Then you want to go ahead and switch to the stick. So as you can see, right above there's a little bit of purple. Maybe you can see it. Let's put my finger there. Slight bit of purple there still. So now I'm going to use the fret guard again, grab the touch-up stick, and I'm going to use the heavy side first, the black side. And I'm going to go over the entire fret. And then I'll do that with the white side, and then with the 1200 gray side to really polish it up. And then I'll check it again to make sure that it's not rocking anymore. Now that should take care of high frets. Once in a great while you might have to do this 2 or 3 times, but you want to go slow and steady, no matter whether you're taking care of high frets or dressing the fret ends, because once the fret material is gone, it's gone. You can't put it back on. So go slow, check it often, make sure you're not taking off too much material. Now I'll show you in a minute how we would normally tape up the neck and fretboard. Just to show you how to use this file, I'm not going to do it on this test neck. As you notice, I'm going in downward strokes to take the metal down towards the wood, and then I put the rounded edge on the fretboard as I make small strokes to round the edge. Then I take out the touch-up stick and take the white and then the gray sides to it just to polish it up nice and clean. And that's all there is to it. There you go. You have a smooth fret end ready to be played. Now on some guitars this can be a lot of work. On other guitars you only have 1 or 2 spots. If you have a guitar where all the fret ends need to be done, there are faster ways, but we're not going to cover that today as it requires more expensive tools. Now normally you would take some low adhesive painter's tape and tape from under the frets and protect the neck, and then use the tape on the fretboard if you're going to do a lot of polishing and work on the frets up top. But for the fret ends, you do want to tape underneath the frets, that way you can protect the neck itself. And of course you use the fret guards to help protect on the fretboard as well. So those are the StewMac fret file and touch-up stick, as well as my Amazon toolkit. Mainly the rocker and the fret crowning file was the big thing, as well as a second kit containing the radius gauges. They're going to be quite useful. They already have been, and all the extra goodies that came with it. So not a bad deal for $62. I definitely recommend taking a look at it. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that video on the tools and how to use them. If you do like this kind of content, please click like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to stay notified. Please leave me some comments and some suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, have a great day.